Good morning, guys. Welcome to the vlog. It is about 5:45 in the morning, just about to start making some breakfast. Jumped out of the shower, feel wonderful. If you guys don't do that in the morning, you're really missing out. It really wakes you up, kind of gets your blood flowing, gets your muscles loose, ready for the day. But I just wanted to thank you guys for tuning in. We got some fun stuff in store for today. Got some training later on. Hopefully some of the tips, some of the things you see from me later will be useful for you in your own training. You can take what you want and apply it towards your own training. So that being said, we are going to wake up the boy. Say good morning, Kobe. Did you sleep good last night, buddy? Oh yeah. All right. Well, he's hungry. He's got to pee. I'm hungry, I have to pee, so we're gonna get going on. But you guys, thank you again for tuning in. If you guys like the video and other content on my channel, please like, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate it. And with that being said, I'll get back to you in the next scene. So here's a little speed through my warm-ups here. I always approach the warm-ups just like I do my working sets. So you see here I'm going from the bar to 135, just doing a few reps, not wearing myself out, trying to work on breaking at the hips and the knees at the same time, and just being consistent. Even when I start moving up with weight, putting on my belt, putting on my wrist wraps, I'm visualizing that top set every time I'm going through my warm-up here. Everything from the approach to the cues in my head as far as shoot my hips back, break at the hips, break at the knees, get deep down in the hole, and explode up. And that's one thing that I don't do, I never used to do too much of, is telling myself explode, explode, explode. That's really going to help with your power output. Here I'm moving up to some more weight, getting the warm-ups in. Here I'm moving up to a set of one at 265. So when I got done with my heavy working sets, I backed back down to 225 and did an AMRAP set at the very end here. I ended up getting 10, I believe, which I was pretty happy with because I had a pretty intense working sets, doing some heavy triples, worked up to some heavy singles, and so to back down and get some volume work in here at 225. And guys, to be honest, 6 months ago, 225 was about the first time I ever got it for one rep. So to see the progress, the consistency, the patience that I have put forth over the last 6 months is really rewarding. By no means am I the strongest guy. I don't ever proclaim to be. But I do believe that my form is good enough and the power will eventually come. I just have to be patient. And that goes for anything in life, right? Anything in our fitness life, nutrition, outside of it. Consistency and patience are the major factors that are going to determine success in the long run. So when I get done with my heavy compound stuff, I like to move on to my accessories. And here you can see I am doing leg presses. And I work up in weight, and I like to keep my reps in the 12 to 20, 25 rep range. I really like to get that metabolic damage going, really get the blood flowing, get the nutrients going in there. And then in between, I like to superset it with seated leg extensions. Here what I'm doing is I'm really concentrating on using my quads to pull up, squeezing hard at the top of that contraction. A tip for this, guys, is lower weight can build great quads too. You want to make sure that you're picking a weight that you can handle, not that the weight is handling you. Because this is an emphasis on the quads. You don't want to put a lot of momentum into it. You really want to get that squeeze and burn at the top of the movement. Try to pause for a quick second or two and just feel that tight contraction. And then for hamstring work, I would really like to do RDLs or stiff-legged deadlifts. Here you see that it's important you keep your back straight. One thing you can do to help that is to concentrate on pushing your chest out. And also try to come back on your heels a little bit more. almost as if your toes are coming off the ground. It's really going to put an emphasis on your hamstrings and your glutes to activate and fire through this. And when you get right to your knees, when you pull. Okay guys, so let's get real a little bit about how this squat session went today. All in all, I'm pretty happy with it. You know, obviously went through, broke down a little bit of my squats, kind of things that I thought I did right, things that obviously I still have to work on, and hopefully you guys got a little something out of it that can maybe help your form. Now, one thing about people on YouTube here, I mean, nobody, I don't care if they're Ray Williams with a 1,069-pound raw squat, nobody has a perfect squat 100% of the time. Nobody has a perfect deadlift 100% of the time. Nobody has a perfect bench 100% of the time. What's important is that you find what works for you that's going to keep you the healthiest, the safest, and allow you to move the most weight possible, right? From a powerlifting standpoint, that's where I'm coming from. But my point being is that there are many ways to go about doing things. Not everybody's going to have the same form because not everybody has the same body mechanics, right? Some people have longer femurs, some people have shorter femurs, some people have longer torsos, some people have shorter torsos. That's all going to go into affecting your squat. One thing for me personally, I'm tinkering with my foot position. Now, I'm a very small guy. I have a very narrow bone structure, right? So I'm trying to find that optimal position to where I can maximize the most amount of power from my squat. I'm doing this with the deadlift too, from the bench as well, but in particular the squat, since that was what we're talking about today. I'm trying to find the position to where I can relieve the I can keep the most amount of stress off my lower back because I am a low bar squatter. I'm very glute and hamstring dominant when I do squat. So I have to take that in consideration. I need to take into consideration my foot stance, how wide or how narrow I go. And also one thing that you need to keep in mind when you're squatting is you want to create that tight back, right? You want to create that tight shelf for the bar to rest on. You almost want to, as if like you're pushing the bar up, right? Because then when you go down, you're going to have all that momentum kind of helping you push it up. It's going to make that coming out of the hole just a little bit easier for you to move more weight. So I have been struggling a little bit lately with some hip pain, especially in my left hip, and it's kind of radiating down to my knee. Now, it's nothing debilitating, it's no major injury, it's just things that, little tweaks like this, that powerlifters, bodybuilders, crossfitters, that people tend to get, right? Because inevitably, when you start moving heavy weight and you start doing it frequently, something's going to give eventually. It doesn't mean that it has to give completely to where you're completely injured and out of the game, but this is where learning rehab techniques, prehab techniques all come in handy, and also by doing kind of what I did and showing you, filming yourself, right? You can see where your problems in your form are. You can see if you're hinging a little bit to one side. You can see if you're coming up on your toes. You can see if you're rounding your back, whatever it is, right? So if you are having issues, I would suggest doing a few things. Videotaping yourself from different angles. Videotape yourself from face on. Videotape yourself from the side, right? Because the side, especially on deadlifts and squats, you can see if you're keeping your back straight, right? Or if you're starting to hunch over, things like that. Do that. Start spending a little bit more time warming up, and I'm not talking about static stretching, I'm talking about doing more dynamic stuff. Doing like agility drill type things, right? A lot of foam rolling. Get yourself a little lacrosse ball, and you can use that to dig right down in your hip sockets and stuff. Actually, if you go back and check out a channel, a video on my channel a few videos back, I did a what's in my gym bag video, right? And I showed you some of the self-massaging type devices, whatever you want to call it, that I keep in my bag to help myself get loose and warm. So these are some things to take into consideration, right? Work with a coach that can help you break down your form and kind of
just be able to give you a quick eye of like, hey, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, right? Because a lot of times, guys, we think to ourselves like, hey, we're doing something wrong, right? Well, a lot of times what's wrong is that you're not doing something. So these are just some things to take into consideration. I hope you got a little something from the squat videos and stuff today. I did some 5x5s, did a set of 3, worked up to a set of 1 at about an RP 9-ish. We'll give or take that a little bit. But, all in all, a fun day in the lab. It was spring break over at USF, so like nobody was on campus. It was just me and Josh and Karina in there. It was just fun. I mean, just quiet, just 3 people that love to lift weights, and so it was a good atmosphere and stuff. But I am probably gonna jump in the shower, gonna make some food later on, and get on with the rest of my day. So thank you guys for tuning in. Guys, this is the first video on my new Canon EOS Rebel T7i. So let me know how the quality is. I'm gonna be doing some editing on Final Cut Pro. I'm really trying to up the quality here for you guys. So please leave some comments in the comment section down below if you guys enjoy this type stuff. I like to do a kind of combination videos of vlogging, workout stuff, nutrition, topic type videos. So that's kind of what my channel is all about, trying to bring you guys the most valuable and useful information possible. No BS, none of that crap, just straight facts, whether they're good or they're bad, but just so you guys can have all the information for yourself to decipher how you want to go about your own training, your own nutrition, your own lifestyle. So thank you guys for tuning in once again. I really appreciate it. For any coaching, training or nutrition coaching, my information is in the description box below, and I'll be catching you all next time. Until then, go out and do something amazing. Have a great time. Do something you love and you're passionate about.